Peyton Manning keeps coming up here.
Right.
I mean, with the Dolphins, is that the most likely destination in your mind?
I don't think so. I think the most likely destination for Peyton would be Arizona because of the dome situations quite a bit, the division itself. To me, with Joe being here as the head coach, I just think Matt Flynn makes so much sense down here. And Matt's proven he can play, and he's a young guy, and you start to build your organization going forward. Peyton is towards the end of his career. As great as he has been and as much as he has meant to the National Football League, and I mean, you can argue and say he's the greatest that ever played, he still is damaged goods. His arm isn't quite where it is. He has, 4 neck procedures, and so you have to ask yourself the question, if he comes back, how long do I have him for? And then do we have to go through that process all over again? So to me, I've sort of laid out the scenarios. Andrew Luck goes to Indianapolis. Peyton winds up in Arizona. The Redskins get RG3, and the Miami Dolphins get Matt Flynn. Now, Jeff Fisher is rattling the sabers quite a bit about that number 2 pick at St. Louis, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of bidders to try and come up, especially what RG3 has done at the Combine.
So Flynn, who's seen legitimate action in 4 games in his career, that's enough of a sample size for
Well, I think if you use Kevin Kolb as an example out in Arizona, he only had, minimal games as well. And I think Matt comes out of a system. And the difference between Kevin's situation and Matt's situation is Matt comes out of an organization where the guy that's the head coach has been his coach. So he knows what he's all about. And I wouldn't read into the fact, if that deal is not made, that, well, Joe just didn't like, he didn't like Matt. I think it was where the football team wants to go with their direction as far as that position goes.
Now, with Matt Moore down here as well, he obviously did a good job in a backup role. If Matt Flynn comes down, is he penciled in automatically as the starter there?
No, I think what you wind up with is competition, and I think it's always great. And Chad Henne, you hope he comes back and is healthy. As a matter of fact, it's probably going to be the healthiest scenario for the Miami Dolphins that they've had in many, many years, to have 3 guys that can actually play, that have played in the league and have been, to a degree successful. I was very impressed with what Matt Moore did, both with his legs, with his head, with his arm at the end of the year. But again, you have a new coach and you have to reprove yourself.
You have a situation now where Dolphins fans have Joe Philbin and all these names are flowing around, and they're saying, oh, why can't we be the Packers South now with the personnel that the Dolphins have, looking at offense, and then if they bring in Flynn, can they be something close to what the Packers have?
I don't think so, because you have to look at Mike McCarthy. He's been there, 6, 7 years. It takes time to implement your philosophy, to create an environment where guys understand what's going on. It takes time to learn the systems. You're going to have a new defensive coordinator as well. I thought Mike Nolan did a terrific job. I think Mike Nolan's one of the best defensive coordinators in this game, and it proved out, because I think they carried the Dolphins to a large degree. So when you look at this football team, to say that automatically they're going to be the southern version of the Green Bay Packers, I don't know if there is a version of the Green Bay Packers, because you don't have Aaron Rodgers.
Are the Dolphins better than 6-10?
Yes, I think they are. I think they're very competitive in this division. I mean, even with New England there. And, New England's got 2 number 1s and 2 number 2s, so you're not sure where they're going to add people. But, with Buffalo, the Jets, Miami, and New England all in that same division, I see them as competitive. I don't see them as a 6-10 football team, not at all.
Mr. Theismann, enjoy.